Bomb, 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 Iran.
Welcome to the Pipeline Podcast. The Ayatollah is dead. Trump pulled another, we're going to take care of a dictator. This time he's dead. He didn't kidnap him like Maduro. And what we're doing tonight is we're going to go over what's happening in Iran, like what it looks like, what actually happened, and then we're going to talk about it. So the best place for like very quick information is most definitely Twitter. I bookmarked the best Twitter post about Iran from today. Like you see here, it's like live footage. So this is Dubai about 2 hours ago, and you just see like missiles coming in on Dubai. And those are Iranian missiles. And here we have a really, really, really cool video. This is like an American jet outmaneuvering an Iranian missile, like anti-aircraft missile. Like check this out. It's kind of insane. That's what kind of happened today. The United States and Israel, it was like a joint operation, attacked Iran, mostly with missiles, as you see here, even though these are Iranian missiles, but whatever. And they killed the leader of Iran. He's called the Ayatollah. Here we have people celebrating, and this is in Toronto, Canada. I don't know if all these people are Iranian or Persian, as they like to be called, but they're out in support of the regime change in Iran. And this will be a trend tonight. People that are actually Iranian people or Persian people that are actually happy that their leader died. Because in most countries, when your leader dies, like the country gets very mad. But you're actually seeing a lot of these Iranian people in support of the Ayatollah dying. Here's more like missile strikes and stuff. Super cool footage. It looks like this is, I mean, it is Fox News, so it's probably true, but it's people, or it's like missiles hitting maybe Iranian sites. I don't know. I think that's a radar tower or something. That could have been some kind of anti-aircraft defense. I don't know. I did see these clips earlier today, but they weren't confirmed. But with Fox News posting them, it makes them more legit. Even though I don't actually know what this is. So this is from inside Iran. Check this out. It's like Iranian people toppling a statue. Allegedly, the statue is of their supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, the Ayatollah. What we're going to do first is just go over what the scene looks like. What does the world look? What is the public response to Trump in coordination with like Netanyahu assassinating the leader of Iran? What is the public response to that? We need to look at that first. And then we're going to go into like all the things that happened and why. These are more of the California demonstrations. We watched a clip of this earlier. Just people with Iranian flags, and they're celebrating. These people are not out on the streets because their leader died. These people are out on the streets, or I guess they are out on the streets because their leader died. They're not out on the streets in protest of what people would call the United States aggression, but they're actually out on the streets in support of it, saying, I'm Persian, or Iranian, whatever you want to call it. The United States just killed our leader, and I support that. That's what these people are. And then here it says Los Angeles, home to the largest community of Iranians outside of Iran. So that might be why you're seeing a lot of sources of celebrations out of LA. I think this is the third. one we've seen now. Okay, and then this is in London, outside of the Iranian embassy, and allegedly it's Iranian people. I don't actually know, but she does. They all kind of. I would believe that these people are Iranian.
He's dead. How are you feeling?
Amazing!
Yeah?
If he's dead!
He is. They've confirmed it. How are you
Such
feeling?
a fantastic feeling. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so it's fantastic. It's a good feeling. They're
It's a
happy.
great day for
It's a great day.
everyone, Iranians everywhere. It's a great day for freedom, and it's a very emotional night.
Emotions.
A great day for freedom. I like that.
I'm so happy.
He's dead.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yeah.
There you go. It's emotional here. The people.
So that's in London, outside the Iranian embassy, and you have people just showing up saying, I'm so happy, you know, it's a great day for freedom, this is a good thing. I hope everyone understands that matters a little bit. Because like I was saying earlier, normally if you live in a country and another country assassinates your leader, you're mad, right? The Iranian people, so far from what we've seen, you have the public, you have Iranians, especially Iranians from Iran or Persia, that left the country, that fled the country to other countries, and they're very happy. They're in the streets celebrating. And allegedly, it's hard to get sources from Iran right now, obviously. The public is celebrating in the streets in Iran right now as well. Oh, okay, here we go. This is an 11-second video of Iran a couple hours ago. And that is people celebrating. That's Iranian people celebrating that their leader is dead. If you've been following this, you've seen the mass protest in Iran the last couple months. Allegedly, the Iranian government or regime killed over 30,000 protesters. But I've definitely seen pictures and videos of like protesters getting shot at and dying. Like that is a thing. But to confirm the 30,000 deaths in Iran is very hard. And you have to also understand that the Iranian government or regime controls the internet, so they can kind of just turn it on and off. Because of that, they kind of control the narrative. And to actually prove that 30,000 people died is not even a possibility right now, but maybe it is in the future. Maybe that will be confirmed. But right now, that's just an estimate of the amount of protesters they've killed, like within the last, I believe, 3 to 6 months. Like in Iran, there's been like mass protests against their government, and Trump just took him out. He's dead. This is a picture of Trump, like the night it happened. It's also in our thumbnail if you want to check it out. He's not in the Situation Room, but it's like a Situation Room type of photo. He hasn't really said anything after it's been confirmed that the Ayatollah is dead. He hasn't responded to that publicly yet. So he's got to at some point, and whatever he says is going to be funny. These are Iranians in DC. So they're just chanting Trump in support of Trump toppling the Ayatollah, killing the Ayatollah. And then you see it's the, I don't exactly know what this is called, but it's the Iranian flag before the Islamic Revolution, and they have it locked in with the American flag. So this is Iranians and Jews celebrating the toppling of the mullahs in Iran. I don't exactly know where this is, but it's somewhere in the UK. And we're gonna talk about this in the episode. Iranians and Jews, because the way that we're supposed to understand it is they don't like each other. Like Iran and Israel are not friends. But it looks like in today's world, the political dynamic has shifted to where regular people that live in Iran would actually support their leader getting taken out. And that is also what like regular Israeli people would support as well. So it looks like the reason this happened is because the climate has shifted to where these two sides, the public majority is on the same team here. most like Israelis and most Iranian, at least like common people, do not support the Iranian government. And that's kind of something a little bit different. That's one of the reasons there it was actually acceptable for a president to take out the leader of Iran. It makes it a lot easier because could you imagine? I mean, it's honestly hard to even imagine that Israel would help the United States take out the leader of Iran, and the Iranian people would be in the streets celebrating it. And keep in mind, they're supposed to be Muslim, and you're supposed to believe Muslims and Jews don't get along. So that really is the most interesting part of kind of what's going on now. We're seeing like political factions kind of not like flip-flop or change teams completely, but I would say we're seeing these kind of factions going to a point where they are aligning with like other factions, but the reason that that's happening is like very hard to explain, and some might say it's just all 100% a psyop. Like in this crowd you have CIA plants or like Mossad that are just like going outside and supporting the Iranian regime change, and it's like all just government funded. But looking at all these sources, and I've been following the story with Iran for like months now, it's not made up. It's not a fake narrative. The Iranian people, the people that live in Iran and the people that are still like Persian or Iranian that fled the country overwhelmingly support their leader getting taken out. And they don't even care if that is done by Israel, like in coordination with Israel. They don't even care. Like that's how much they want this guy out. And to add to that, allegedly 30,000 protesters in Iran died over the last few months protesting the government. So once you understand that, you end up here. Trump, United States, Israel, Netanyahu, however you want to call it, they finally come to the decision that, yeah, they're just going to kill him and see what happens. And that's kind of what this video is about. We're going to get more into that later. This was a post by the Ayatollah. He has a Twitter account or an X account, and someone that had access to his account posted this. It's some kind of like memorial post, which does help confirm that he's dead. I just thought it was interesting. So you do have the Iranian government that's like, whoa, the United States and Israel and a bunch of other countries just took out our leader. It's wartime. That's the Iranian government's position, but it's not the Iranian public's, like the normal, the majority of people that live in the country. It's not their opinion. They're happy, but the government is mad. Oh, here's another shot of Iran. More celebrations. This one's in London. You got this is London. You have Iranian flags and United States flags right there. Very interesting. In London. Yeah, here we go. More Iranians pouring into the street. That's in Iran. More Iranians celebrating. So that's what the scene looks like right now. For the second half of the video, we're going to go into like the real details, not just what it looks like, what the reaction looks like. First, we have a video from Trump talking about the operation. So we are going to watch the video. It's going to take a little bit. I apologize. And then read the post. And we have more sources that dive deeper into Iran. Like, why would Iran even be on the radar? Why would the United States, why would Israel, why would any other country want to assassinate the leader of Iran? We're going to go into all that. Just in case you're unaware, it's not the fun stuff. Seeing the celebrations is the fun stuff, but it's all the other stuff that matters. And we're not even going to cover everything. We're just going to skim over the surface. In case you don't know much about Iran, it is very hard to learn about Iran because the government in Iran could just turn the internet off whenever they want. And, you know, you can't, it's basically separated. It's similar to North Korea, where it's just like a walled off country. And it's very hard to get reliable information about what's going on, what has happened in the past. And so to like take a deep dive into what really led up to this would take a days. We're gonna skim it and give you a very nice summary. You're welcome for that. And first, we're gonna start here. This is Trump talking about the operation.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder.
I do want to point out the Iranian regime has been going on for 47 years, and Trump is the 47th president. It's so funny.
Targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days.
Yeah, that happened a long time ago, like 30 or 40 years ago. But it's kind of still like that. Like, people in Iran, like tourists, get arrested like all the time because they're just accused of being a spy. And the worst part about it is some of them probably are spies. The Mossad and the CIA and probably like MI6 and other intelligence agencies have documented, like, been trying to fuck with Iran ever since it became like a Muslim country, ever since the Islamic Revolution. That stuff has happened, and that kind of adds into like it kind of muddies the waters of everything that's going on. It's not just like, oh, Iran bad, United States good. It's really not like that. It's a situation that's been going on for a very long time.
In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the...
It's basically Trump saying, yeah, we attacked Iran. Why would he do that? Well, let's talk about it. We do have one post, like a text post on True Social, which is like Donald Trump's Twitter, where he talks about the Iran strikes. So we're going to read it. Khamenei, the Ayatollah, one of the most evil people in history, is dead. This is not only justice for the people of Iran, but for all great Americans and those people from many countries throughout the world that have been killed or mutilated. He was unable to avoid our intelligence and highly sophisticated tracking systems, and working closely with Israel, there is not a thing he or the other leaders that have been killed along with him could do. And I do want to comment, Israel has had it out for Iran for at least 30 years, maybe longer. They've never really got along. This is the single greatest chance for the Iranian people to take back their country. We are hearing that many of their IRGC, I'm unfamiliar, military and other security and police forces no longer want to fight and are looking for immunity from us. As I said last night, now they can have immunity. Later they only get death. Hopefully, they will peacefully merge with the Iranian patriots and work together as a unit to bring back the country to the greatness it deserves. That process should soon be starting in that not only the death, the heavy and pinpoint bombing, however, will continue uninterrupted throughout the week or as long as necessary to achieve our objective of peace throughout the Middle East and indeed the world. So I've heard different sources like they're going to stop bombing because they killed him. And then I've heard other people saying, no, it'll probably be, like you said here, a week or two. So we'll see how long it goes on for. I don't really know. Here is the current leader of Israel, and his name is Netanyahu, in case you're unfamiliar. if you truly are unfamiliar and want to know more, check out the channel. But I imagine if you're watching this video, you know who he is. But it's Netanyahu's 33 years of Iran nuclear warnings. So what this video is it goes back 33 years, well, maybe even longer. When was this posted? Yeah, 33 or 34 years of Netanyahu, who's currently the leader of Israel, saying, oh, Iran almost has nukes. They're about to have nukes and they're going to nuke us, which it's most likely true that if Iran did have a nuclear weapon, they would nuke Israel. I'm not really going to deny that. The Iranian government hates Israel like a lot. They don't get along. That's not the point, though. The point is the current prime minister of Israel has been lying to everybody for 33 years, saying that in 3 months Iran's going to have nukes. And if you say that same lie for 33 years, eventually someone should say, hey, quit your bullshit. Like, you just need to stop because you've just been wrong for 33 years. Anyway, let's watch it.
You've probably heard this line before.
Damn, his voice is
Iran
loud.
has never given up its
Here we
quest
go.
for nuclear weapons and the missiles to deliver them.
That's because Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying this for more than 30 years, claiming Iran is close to having
Nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. Atomic bombs.
In 1992, as a member of parliament, Netanyahu addresses the Knesset. He says, within 3 to 5 years, we can assume that Iran will become autonomous in its ability.
So in 1992, he said that. So going off his smallest estimate, it would have been 1995 that Israel would have nukes. It's 2026, over 30 years later, and they still have never got a nuke.
To develop and produce a nuclear bomb. 3 years later, in his book Fighting Terrorism, he repeats the same time frame, 3 to 5 years.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, and we don't need to watch all this. I think you get it by now. But later on, he starts saying the time frame goes from 3 to 5 years to 3 to 5 months. And he just keeps repeating that over his entire political career. And it's never been true, ever, not once. Here is a very important video. So this is from June 2025, about 8 months ago. And it's Trump's thoughts on the relationship between Israel and Iran. And this is very, very important.
We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
So this happened last year. Israel and Iran got into it and started just shooting missiles at each other. And this was Trump's response. He says, these two countries have been fighting for so long, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. 8 months later, he's buddy-buddy with Netanyahu attacking Iran in coordinate, like, with Israel. So what changed in that time period? And, you know, I don't really know. There are a lot of things that could have changed. And conspiracy theorists, which, you know, this is a conspiracy channel, say it has something to do with Epstein. I'm not entirely convinced of that yet, but that is one thing that has changed. I mean, you got to throw out what has changed in 8 months. Here, if you're new to conspiracy theory land, Iran has been a target for a very long time by the military-industrial complex. So there's this whole 7 countries within 5 years plan, and it's basically just like seven Muslim countries. The United States has attacked 6. And the 7th one is Iran. That's why we're covering it. And it looks like we finally got it. We got our 7 countries that the military-industrial complex had a memo about invading. We took care of them. It took a lot longer than 5 years, but we do need to watch this. So it's General Wesley Clark, a former U.S. Attorney General, and he basically talks about like a classified memo that he read. The memo said, we're going to go into these 7 countries, and they're all like Muslim countries. So let's watch this. He talks about it.
About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld, and and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me, and one of the generals called me in. He said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, "No." He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know."
And just one quick thing that adds into this, we did supply weapons to Iraq so that they could attack Iran, like in the past. Like, that's relevant.
He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says, "There's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments." And he said, "I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail."
Yeah, and you can see that. I don't exactly know when this video came out, but it's pretty old, at least 15 years old. It could be even older. That is just another way to say peace through strength. We have a good military, and so we use it.
So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs," meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran."
So yeah, right there, it's like he's saying it's a memo. The memo does appear to be real, although the government hasn't gone out and said, of course, it's legitimate here. You can take a look at it. But the consensus is this guy's not lying. That was a real memo. And Iran was the last country on the list. And it's 2026. We did it. We took down 7 countries in not 5 years, but we got there. Nice job.
Bum, bum, bum.
That came out in 1980. That's 46 years ago. That's how long this kind of stuff has been going on. Here, I do want to talk about how past presidents tried to deal with Iran. And we have, in 2016, Obama sent $400 million in cash, like on a plane, to Iran. And allegedly, it was for hostages. Although that part is disputed. Like, you have factcheck.org saying, no, this claim is false. Although they're claiming, it's $150 billion in cash. He didn't get all that money. But what we're talking about is $400 million in cash that Iran did receive. Coincidentally, a little bit later, a bunch of hostages were released from Iran. And people say, okay, this is Obama negotiating with terrorists. And that kind of like goes against what Trump did. Trump just blew up their leader, right? And so I just want to talk about, this is how Obama dealt with Iran. And we are seeing Trump do things a little bit differently. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I guess it's up to you. People did die, but overall, more lives could have been saved because of this. If it is true that Iran already killed 30,000 protesters, what's to stop them from killing 30,000 more? And the reports that I've seen have only said a couple hundred people died today from the strikes. I don't know what the actual number is. We're not going to know for probably some time. But it does look like keeping the Iranian leader alive would cause more deaths than just killing him and his leaders, like the other people that are high up in the Iranian government. It looks like if you just kill them, you'll probably actually save lives. The Islamic Revolution in Iran started in 1979, and that's basically when this Ayatollah took over, or at least it was run by religious extremists. Like, you have to be Muslim, you can't be gay or be atheist in that country. Like, they'll put you in prison, and it's a very closed country. Trump is the only president that has gone out and just said, hey, we have the most powerful military in the world. Why don't we just use it? This guy's a problem. And again, that kind of leads us to like the whole debacle. Do you think, even, say killing this guy does end up saving more lives? It's like that whole train conundrum. So it's this thing. Imagine you're this guy, right? And the train's gonna run these people over on the tracks. And you could flip the switch. But if you flip the switch, you have to make the decision that yes, this person is gonna die. You can change the direction of the train to kill one person or five. What do? Do you just say, I'm not gonna be involved because I don't want blood on my hands. I'm just gonna let fate take its course? Or do you say, yes, I'm going to say all these five people live, but this guy that would have lived is going to die. And I'm going to do that because it will save more lives. If you're someone that would pull that lever, pull that switch to save, in this case, it would be 4 lives, you would kind of agree with what Trump did today. If you're someone that says, no, I would have blood on my hands if I did that, I couldn't do that, you're probably a libtard and you don't like this today's regime change, which seems to be a theme. Trump's doing that a lot recently, and it's really fun to cover, so I don't have too many complaints about it. And especially after you see the reactions, like what it looks like in Iran and with Iranian people. And we do have sources on the channel that are familiar with Iran and kind of know what's going on. None of them like him. And they all do say, like, yo, the government fucking uses real bullets on protesters. And again, if you've seen the channel, if you followed the news, that's something that the United States doesn't do. If there's a protester in the United States, they have like pepper spray and rubber bullets. In Iran, this is one of those countries that we talk about that has real bullets. And when you fuck with the government, they just shoot you. And the Iranian people finally have had enough of it, whether they have been psyoped by Mossad and the CIA, or they came to this conclusion on their own. I don't really know. I'm sure it's a mix, but it does look like the public overwhelmingly is against their current government in the country of Iran. And that's, that's why it was acceptable for a president to take out the leader today. And it had never happened before, obviously. We have a good military, so why not use it? That really is everything we have for tonight. If something crazy happens overnight or tomorrow, we'll probably cover it. We definitely need to talk about, how is the country going to function? Is it possible the Ayatollah's government still maintains control and they install a new leader and nothing changes? If that's the case, I imagine these attacks will go on for much longer than a couple days. Or is it possible maybe they do free and fair elections or something? They figure something out. We'll probably have an update at some point that goes into all that. And if we missed anything that was for sure worth covering, I mean, there's a lot to go into today to even try to explain all this and what's going on. Definitely let us know, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Check out our videos if you want to see more stuff like this. And have a good night.